Hello, Con. Thanks for coming.
What's up?
I decided to bring you here today because we're going to be rebooting one of your famous films.
Awesome, but haven't you guys rebooted King Kong enough?
Surprising, it's actually going to be one of your Toho films.
Sweet, you're rebooting King Kong Escapes?
Oh god, no. You actually have a co-star in this film.
Oh great, it's gonna be... Wait a second.
And here's your co-star.
Hey, you're that guy that thought it'd be funny to shove a tree down my throat.
That was just a big misunderstanding.
Nah man, it's cool, it's cool. We're just gonna play this new game called Hide the Freighter. I didn't sign up for this.
Hey guys, welcome to Super Important Views. My name's Steve.
And my name is... Wait, oh, there it is. And my name is Arnaz.
And today I'll be going over the Diamond reissue X Plus Godzilla 1962. It's from the film King Kong vs. Godzilla.
And if you guys have not seen this movie, you have to go see it right now. Because I was going to bash this figure until Steve was like, hey, yo, stop. You need to watch this movie first. So I went and seen it, and I was like, oh my god, that's exactly like it. Just trust me. Go watch this movie.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the film, it is awesome. Really great fights between King Kong and Godzilla. Also has children getting cigarettes from the adults, which is probably wouldn't fly nowadays, but it's hilarious to watch. You get to see King Kong getting drunk and the natives dancing and twerking to make him pass out. Plus, he's holding on to women, also getting drunk on top of buildings. It's hilarious. You get to see King Kong fight a giant squid, which starts getting to the realm of certain Japanese stuff, which is...
I'm assuming this is the year that a Japanese hentai started, so... It's the only explanation of what was going on.
Yeah, sure. I guess we'll run with that. The fight scenes, again, really amazing. You get to see Godzilla Kangaroo kick King Kong and King Kong do face plants in the rocks. Like, it's just hilariously awesome. You guys need to check it out.
That's so funny. He's like, I'm going to roll out of his way. Bam! Facing a rock. He's out.
Godzilla's just like, yeah. Also in the film, King Kong has lightning powers, which originally in the film, Godzilla was actually supposed to fight Frankenstein, which is the reason why Kong is immune to electricity and able to electrocute Godzilla when he's punching him after getting struck by lightning, which makes for a really awesome effect, but it's only really ever seen in that film. It's just goofy as all hell, but I love it. Oh, it's just amazing.
Trust me, movie's worth the hour and a half. Every bit of it.
I'd like to thank everybody that voted for this kaiju in the I Need Your Help video. Really do appreciate it. And just pretty much everybody just voting in general. Like, you guys are awesome. So without further ado, for the packaging, really sweet. Really love the nice baby blue grain effect that's got going on over the front of it. Really nice image of the figure inside the packaging. Also a nice profile picture in the background. Godzilla 1962 on the front and some stuff that I can't really read. And that's pretty much it for the box. There's some cardboard on the sides of it. And then on the back of the packaging, just some warnings and legal mumbo jumbo. So let's get this guy opened up out of his cardboard prisons. Alright, so now that we have him opened up out of his cardboard prison, I'm going to be holding the camera for the course of at least going over his details, because it's just kind of hard the way I have it set up to really do this thing justice by having the camera stationary. So sorry in advance for any shakiness of the camera, but for the head sculpt, looks awesome. Really like the side profile of this kaiju, and also just for the front profile, it's just my favorite of all the Godzilla suits, because it's just a very menacing looking Godzilla, and you don't really get any more terrifying of a Godzilla until the 1984 Return of Godzilla, or Godzilla 1985, whatever you want to call it. I just love his giant gaping mouth, and just his teeth are all individually sculpted and look really nice. Really like the definition on tongue. Also, the only time you really see any flesh tone on this entire kaiju, like even just bringing up his head a little bit more, you can see the ridges underneath of his mouth, and just again seeing more of the fleshy tone, which looks awesome. And really like his yellow eyes, which was something that seemed a little odd to begin with, but after going back and watching the film is definitely correct for this Godzilla. And also for pretty much all the Godzilla movies, this is definitely the most reptilian looking of the Godzillas, which is something that's just very unique for this Godzilla, and just something, again, a thing I really love about this suit. Then starting to move down the body, you notice his giant chubby neck, which is something, again, pretty indicative of this Godzilla, where it's definitely very loose and very kind of iguana-ish, I want to say. Looks really cool. Really like the skin tone that he's got going on through his entire body as well, where you get this nice kind of charcoal gray going over it. A little bit of lighter gray splash over top of the wrinkles. Looks really sweet. And then moving to the front of the body, you'll notice that there's a dramatic change in the texture here, where it kind of has his somewhat definition here of some pecs, which, okay. It's just something that's really weird for this because it's pretty flat-chested here, while the rest of the body is definitely has these more predominant wrinkles throughout the rest of it. So it's just something, it's a little weird for this suit, but something again I just really like about it. It just kind of gives it more of a rough and tough look. And then for the arms and hands here, look pretty good as well. You notice here you'll see the first seam on the suit, which I actually think this is just for the actual action figure where they hook the arms to it. So something that's a little bit noticeable, but it doesn't distract from the figure at all. And then for the claws. The claws look really sweet. Really like the giant, kind of like, for the film, he actually has really huge looking claws, and they're very menacing looking, which are conveyed pretty well in this action figure.
I am pretty sure, could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure his claws were colored in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, if you watch him at the beginning of the film where he's kind of coming out of the water, he's like, all the military shooting at him. You definitely notice a lot more white on his nails there, and pretty much for the beginning of the film. But throughout the course of the movie, it kind of looks like it starts fading a little bit, which kind of is the reason why it's a little bit lighter of a tone here of the gray than the rest of the body. Like, to me, it just seems like something like it's just overuse of the suit throughout the film, and not them going back over it with any paint just kind of wear that down. I'm not sure how accurate of a statement that really is, but it's just something that it appears to me, and you definitely see this color towards the end of the film. So it's still really accurate for the suit, but it might have been nice to actually see a little bit more color here. Would have been pretty cool. And then moving down the rest of the body here, you start knowing some of the imperfections in the suit, which is actually pretty cool.
This is straight out of the movie, you guys. I actually paused this part of the movie just to compare it, and this right here is straight out of the movie. The way when the Godzilla walks, the way suit bends all the way down here like this. And even this part right here, which is the most hilarious thing about the movie.
Yeah, this Godzilla has some pretty hideous looking knees. Like, he needs to find a new profession, you know? Then you see even more of the imperfections in the suit here, where the crease is coming in over the top. Which is pretty much when the suit actor is moving, since the suit isn't really fully designed to look or act very animalistic. So when the actor inside the suit's actually moving, there's a lot of empty space in here, so it'll start folding in at certain parts when you're watching the movie. So it's really cool that it's conveyed pretty nicely on this figure here. Like, you notice some more on the back here towards the rear section of Godzilla. And then same on this side here, you know, it's a pretty big indent here in the leg. And I actually just really like that concept, because that's something that's really cool about these X Plus figures, is that they're designed to actually look like the suits from the film and not be more stylistic and how Godzilla should have looked in that film. This is just exactly how he looked in that film. So it's a really cool concept. And same for his feet here, which he has his nice three-toed feet, which sometimes a little weird, but it's definitely very reminiscent of the Showa Godzilla, where he has his four-fingered hand and the three toes on the feet. And then these feet look fairly normal. Nice, really like the spread of the nails here. And then you come over to the other side, and that looks kind of painful to me, you know? Like, it's just...
It's where King Kong dropped a rock on his foot.
Yeah. It's just like, oh God, why? But again, you get a little bit of a lighter color tone here for the bottom of the feet, where it's this nice lighter gray, just like on the nails here on the upper part of Godzilla. Which I imagine that's just from the actor walking around the suit a lot. The colors down here are definitely going to fade a little faster than on the rest of the suit, especially when you look at the knees here too. They're a little bit lighter of a gray as well. So I really like the color definition on here, because even though he's pretty bland with a lot of the charcoal grays, you definitely see a little bit more of the lighterness throughout the rest of the body, which is something that's really cool. And then something that is definitely contrary is these dorsal plates over here, spines, whatever you want to call them. Look really nice, have this nice bone color over the top of it, and then the normal charcoal gray coming along the base of the spines here. Look really nice. You also see the seam that's actually meant to be on this figure, which is how the suit actor actually gets in and out of the suit. You notice that it starts here at the upper part of the neck here, and then it comes along pretty much the rest of the dorsal spine down to here at the base of the tail. Same you notice here on the other side as well. So again, really nice attention to detail. I really love that added piece to the figure. And then for his tail, pretty normal Godzilla looking tail, and definitely very contrary to the last X Plus figure I had, where his tail was definitely fairly misshapen, while this is very even and nice.
And then once you get to the tip, you will actually notice where they use the wires to lift the tails for the actor, which I'm assuming it was very heavy in the suit. But you can see him right around here, which is actually really nice. I like that top part right there.
Especially since if you want to maybe make like a little like display for the figure, you can actually set up like the little wire effects there, and it actually would fold very nicely for that. So that'd be really sweet. And then just to show you guys the undersection of Godzilla's tail, looks really nice as well. No detail spared on this figure.
Steve, why are you trying to get a shot of his crotch?
Because we need it for we need it for review, damn it.
Steve's trying to compare it with himself.
Which is surprising.
He said for comparison.
Oh man, I hate my life. It's actually kind of funny here too. Not really wanting to check out the crotch of Godzilla, but you'll notice here that actually a lot of the wrinkles is actually worn off here on the base, where the actor would actually, this is the part where the legs would be rubbing together. So of course the latex on the suit's going to be coming off here, which is something that's actually really sweet. And again, another just really nice attention to detail for this figure. And then you got the bottom of Godzilla's feet. And this copyright stuff for X Plus and Toho.
You forgot the only part of this figure, Steve, that moves.
Yep, for articulation, that's where you attach his tail. Arnez is trying to break things. Thank you, Arnez. There's also a little bit of rotation here, but nothing very extravagant. And that's literally all the articulation you get on this figure, because he's literally just meant to be a statue. Which I know initially when Arnez got this figure out of the box, he was checking it out. He's just like, this guy's pretty light for what you would think a statue would be, because he's literally made out of the same vinyl material as you get like the Bandai Creation figures. It's just a lot sturdier and definitely a lot more details than what you get on that figure. Which is something I really like, because one, keeps the shipping cost down because the figure is actually lighter. And then two, you can actually take a little bit of a small fall, and it's just a little bit more durable than, say, something that was made out of resin or some other harder material, which, if anything bad happened, like with cats or whatnot, you wouldn't have to be quite as concerned about this guy as, say, those figures, which is something I really do appreciate.
Steve, you forgot one thing about this figure.
What did I forget?
You forgot to tell him, or mention to him, that his tail comes detached, and you have to put it on.
Oh, yeah, well, it's kind of, I guess, a given, but all right, I'll let you go over it.
But what you need to tell people is that it is extremely, extremely hard, pain in the butt to put the tail on, and you have to use a hairdryer, and lots of it, because it is really hard to put it in.
Yeah, it was a bit of a pain, but pretty much when you're just attaching it, because if you haven't seen how to actually go about this, I did it in my Godzilla 2014 review, which if you guys need to, just go check it out real quick. But pretty much when you attach the tail, just use the hairdryer towards the end of the tips here and right at the base here. You just want to make sure the dorsal fins line up on the back of it. And then you just heat it up till the plastic is soft, and then you just kind of start pushing it together till it attaches in right. Alright, so for some quick comparison, here he is compared next to the only other X Pluses in my collection, the X Plus Godzilla 1955 and Anguirus from Godzilla Raids Again.
And here he is compared next to SH Monsterrod Godzilla and Gamera.
And here he is with the Trendmasters 18-inch Godzilla 1998.
And here he is next to NECA's 24-inch long 2014 Godzilla.
And here he is wearing a Godzilla mask. So overall with the X Plus Godzilla 1962, the paint job, the details on this figure are pretty much perfect. And even though it doesn't have articulation, doesn't need it. This figure is awesome the way it is. And I've been wanting a Godzilla 1962 in my collection for a long time now, and I personally can't think of a better figure to add in my collection to represent that guy than this.
I gotta be honest with you guys, overall, when I seen this figure first, when Steve took it out of the box and we opened it up, I swear I was gonna bash this thing, because it looks horrible. Like, until I saw the movie, and I retract my statement, man. I take it back. This thing is straight out of the movie. Every single detail on here that makes it like the figure look bad is actually straight up out of the movie, from all of his creases, his folds, everything. So I take my statement back. Completely worth it.
So in the end, we do recommend picking up this figure, and if you guys are planning on picking up Godzilla 1962 by X Plus, you're going to want to do it sooner than later, because we got this guy at around $200, which personally I think it's still worth it. But if you guys can find it a little bit cheaper, really do recommend hopping on that and really getting this guy as quickly as possible, because this guy's only going to go up in price as time goes on. So what do you guys think? Have you guys picked up the X Plus Godzilla 1962? Have you guys seen King Kong vs. Godzilla?
Or is the giant ape just your thing?
Please let us know in the comments. We'll have closer pictures of them on Facebook if you want to click the link description below. Please don't be afraid to share this video around. And if you like this and want to see more stuff like this, please give us a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye bye.